What's up, a Cinema Shogun here, and The Rings of Power Episode 5 continues to disappoint fans and critics alike. Don't get me wrong, I know there's still shills out there giving The Rings of Power a double-handed blowjob with the twisty movement, the 360 sucky, but listen, real fans and critics who actually care about their reputation are telling the truth. They are saying that this show is just getting downright silly now. That's what Forbes had to say. Other shows are saying that this show is continuing to go along with its slow burn, and that it's been a waste of time, and I agree. Originally I told myself I was going to watch every episode and break it down and review it, but God almighty, I'll be honest with you all, I haven't been able to stomach it. And I got a big stomach. You think that I would eat this right up, but man, it makes me want to puke. I haven't been able to sit through all of these episodes. I've watched the reviews. I've watched other people break it down, but man, the breakdowns and the reviews are way more exciting than the show. The show provides literally nothing for me. No excitement, no wonder, I'm not entertained by it. I'm not laughing. It's just so bad that I can't get any enjoyment out of it. And this comes from a person that likes bad movies. Man, I love bad movies. I even like bad TV shows. If a show is bad enough that I could watch it and at least laugh at how bad it is, then at the very least I'm somewhat entertained. I don't get that here. I cannot watch The Rings of Power and laugh at how bad it is because it's even too bad to do that, and it takes itself so seriously to the point where you're just rolling your eyes the whole entire time. But you see, Amazon was really relying on episode 4 and 5. Amazon is shivering and shaking in their boots right now because the first few episodes they threw out there, and of course they wanted a different response, but they were hoping that episode 4 and 5 would solidify the audience, that it would eventually, maybe you didn't like episode 1 or 2, maybe you thought the story was moving along slowly, but surely episode 5 will bring you in. Nope. I can tell you right now that I still don't care, and from the looks of it, no one else gives a damn either. Everyone continues to hate this show, and the show continues to move slowly, like at a snail's pace. And listen, I'm a Tolkien fan. I read the books. And for some people, maybe you could say the books move along kind of slowly as well. But all the while, Tolkien is building that world for you. And the way that he writes, it made you feel like you were in that world. And you sat with those characters. And you learned to love those characters. And you learned those characters' personalities and what have you. After sitting with The Rings of Power through multiple episodes, I don't feel a single connection to a single character that has appeared on screen yet. I don't care about any of them. I don't care about the world they're setting up. I don't care about the future of this show. And episode 5 is the episode that's supposed to get you hooked. All right, this is kind of where we're heading here. Because the rest of the episodes seem to be almost eventless. There was almost no need for them to even exist. Everything that we've seen in the first 5 episodes of The Rings of Power could have been condensed down to a 30-minute prologue. Not even that. I would argue that it's not needed, but if we're going to have it, trim it up a little bit. Tolkien was able to tell these slow burn stories because he was able to captivate his audience while doing so. I wouldn't have a problem at all with the Rings of Power being a slow burn if I actually enjoyed being immersed in the world and with the characters. Amazon made it impossible to immerse yourself in this world because this is not Middle Earth. The people you're seeing on screen don't look like the people from Middle Earth. So automatically, that takes me out of the immersion. When I'm seeing people, elves with temp fades and stuff, it takes me out of the immersion. So I couldn't immerse myself in this world. And even trying to like these characters, most of them, with the exception of a couple, most of them aren't written in a way that you could attach to them or like them. Unless you just like C-U-N-T, straight up biatches like Galadriel. Possibly, and I'm not exaggerating, one of the most unlikable main characters a TV show or movie has ever seen to date. So for Amazon, episode 5 was very important for them. This episode is the episode that's supposed to lead to wherever the hell this show is going. And still it doesn't have people hooked. If anything, it's turning more people away. And it goes to show that it doesn't matter how long you keep at this. They want to do 5 seasons of this. Yet after episode 5, when I look around, most of the people that had, the courage to watch this show, they've already checked out. At this point, we're all watching this show just to talk about how bad it is. And just to be like, yeah, I told you so. I told you this was going to be bad. Now, to be fully transparent, I haven't even watched all the episodes. Like I said earlier, I can't bring myself to do it. I'd rather spend my free time sitting here making videos for you all as opposed to sitting down and watching that fake fan fiction. I've seen a lot of people comparing the Rings of Power to fan fiction, but I don't even want to do that. Because fan fiction would mean that you're actually a fan. And you can tell this is like a fan fiction made by non-fans, by people who don't even know the property. And to think that we're all the way on episode 5 and you still haven't done anything worth noting. Think about where we would have been in the Peter Jackson Lord of the Rings trilogy by now. 5 or more hours into that trilogy. How much that's damn near the whole trilogy. The connections you formed with those characters in those movies over that short time span. The feelings that those movies invoked in you. You don't get any feelings from the Rings of Power. If the Rings of Power stopped tomorrow and they said, hey, we're not even going to release the rest of the season, would anyone truly give a damn? Would you feel incomplete? I'm weird when it comes to movies and TV shows. Like, if I don't complete a movie, or no matter how bad a movie or a show is, not so much as shows as with movies, no matter how bad it is, I'm a completionist. I feel like I need to see it all the way through to know exactly what happened and to feel complete. With the Rings of Power, I'll turn an episode off 15 minutes into the episode, and it won't even cross my mind later, hey, I wonder what happened next. Because I don't care. Which is totally the opposite of how I am in general. As a fan of Tolkien, I'm someone who should be hanging on to every word of this show. I'm someone who should be desperately wanting these answers, but I don't even care. If anything, I would feel better if they just nuked this show from high hell and never talked about it again. But at the very least, the only positive thing that I've gotten from this show is being able to talk about it with all of you all. And seeing that a lot of you all from all different walks of life, different countries, you name it, feel the same way as me. Because the mainstream media and these big companies, they will make you feel ostracized. Like you're a bad person. You're the only person that doesn't like this, when in reality, the majority of people feel the same way. The internet just lets a vocal minority speak for everyone, so it feels like you're against all odds, but in reality, we're not. No one cares about the show. Even the mainstream media. Look at these headlines. Even the media is like, you know what, we're checking out. We don't care. No one cares. When the mainstream media can't even pretend to care in order to get money and clicks on their website, then that should show you what this really is. It is complete and utter garbage. One of the biggest disasters in television history. If this show wasn't hidden on a streaming platform, these streaming services and platforms make it so easy to manipulate the numbers and to make you think that shows are bigger than what they are. But this show has no cultural impact at all. 5 episodes in. Isn't that hard to believe? When you really sit back and think about it, how in the hell are we 5 episodes into this series? And there's nothing that any of us could talk about. You know, watching The Lord of the Rings, there were so many scenes that you could just pull and just like a still of this scene. Here's the scene of, you know, the fellowship walking on a mountain, and there was just these scenes that you could pull from, and they would be so beautiful. The Rings of Power, I don't get that. When I pull still shots from the Rings of Power, all I see is weird looks on freaking Galadriel's face that look like she's constipated and has one of those pokey turds coming out of her butt. You know, one of those turds that feels like a mace that kind of just pokes your butt? She looks like she's pushing one out in all of these photos. In all of the video. I mean, damn, man, this show is just so bad that I could talk about how bad it is for days on end. But it's good to see that here we are, 5 episodes in, and it continues to be a freaking disappointment. I know that Amazon is so upset by it. And that's why they're deleting reviews and everything like I've reported on before. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you all in the next video.